That's how I got out. I had to prove that they didn't have to send me to a rehab facility.
Oh, did they get assaulted?
Yeah,
I didn't.
because that's what they wanted. I said, yeah, no, we're not going to be doing that. They said, they go, okay, show me. So I did. With my hands.
I don't know whether because we did that, it's
That's what everybody tells me. But what happened, what you can't see is I have neuropathy from here through half of my hand and both legs up to my knees. And that's why I limp. Otherwise, I'm fine. Thank you. I need to go to the schools. My signature is never the same. So I need to go over to schools. And remember when you were a little kid, they had those big, wide spacers with the line in between to practice writing? I gotta do that. Not because I have to, because you can see it's my life. You know, you can see now it's legible. But to get my penmanship back the way it was, I want to do that.
So Troy's gonna pretty much cover everything on there.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Anybody else? No? Okay.
Okay, it is 6:33. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late. I'm going to call to order the work session of the Tenino City Council for Tuesday, August 27th, 2024. So we're starting our work session. First thing is a council agenda review. So take a look at the agenda. If you have things you want to add or take off, we can do that and make that adjustment at the start of the regular meeting.
I'm going to amend at the beginning.
Okay.
Now, and I just say, when you call for the, then I just say I want to amend the agenda to include, okay.
Anybody see anything? If not, we will move on. New city attorney. We have our new attorney here to introduce himself, Mr. Dilly. He's, just so you know, we interviewed a couple people, one in Seattle and Mr. Dilly, and I think we were very happy with what he had to offer. He's worked for, well, I'll let him say, but worked for a lot of other small cities, and so I'm looking forward to working with him.
Yeah. Thank you, Mayor, Council. It's nice meeting you tonight. So a little bit about myself. I moved down to Thurston County in 2000. I'm originally from Puyallup. That's where I was born and raised. And, my grandfather was the town doc of Puyallup, so all us went to Puyallup High School and then moved down here, like I say, in 2000. When I moved down here in 2000, I took over Sandy Mackey, was one of the partners of the firm I was with. He was the city attorney for Yelm. And so the first thing he did was said, here, you're going to start going to council meetings. And that's how I became the city attorney for Yelm. So I've been doing that for the last 24 years. And with that, represented City of Ocean Shores, a number of special purpose districts. So I got a fair amount of municipal law experience. That's good 15-20% of my practice. But in any event, I'm really honored to be here and to fill in the shoes of Rick and your previous council. Those are big shoes to fill. I know Rick personally is a really good lawyer. I hope that I meet your expectations as well.
Thank you.
Sure.
Anybody have any questions? I just talked to him. We're going to be meeting soon. I just want to kind of get them all on board where we're at and make sure I told him, make sure we don't let anything slip through the cracks with things that are going on, since we do have a lot of contracts and things with the Ag Park and those kind of things. So we'll be meeting soon, and we'll also probably at some point work with Rick just to make sure that he doesn't have anything that, that he sees that we really need to look at. So we'll try to make sure we have a very smooth transition.
I'll promise you we'll be smooth.
Yeah.
We won't misspeak.
So thank you. I appreciate you being here.
Welcome.
Tenino School District Survey. Is there somebody here from the school? I thought the food services person was going to be here. I can kind of speak to it. The school district's sending out a survey. I don't know if anybody's seen it. I haven't seen it. but it's I think it's a survey related to how they get funding for like how they, when they feed kids, you know, they have a certain amount of lower income people, they get to, maybe somebody's here.
Mr. Mayor, I believe our
Oh,
speaker's
here she
here
is,
now.
right here. She's here. You're on the hot seat. Yeah. I was just starting to talk about the survey. If you wanted to tell them what you're looking at, and just so we can pass it on to others as we see them. You need to, if you can come up there to the mic. I think it's on, I believe. Yes. Hi there.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. I'm Teresa Stevens from the school district. I'm the food service director there.
Is that light on there? Just because other people are listening online, is there a green light on? If it's not on, push the button. Then there you go.
It's on. Okay.
Thanks.
Now can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So the school district is trying to become all free for all students. And in order to do that, we need parents to fill out, and looks like an application, but it's a family income survey. And it states in there how you would qualify for free or reduced lunches. And so we're having some parents that don't understand why they have to fill this paperwork out. And even though the kids from K through 8 are free, we do need the rest of the high school and the rest of them to fill out this paperwork anyway. And that's due to, it classifies them how they would be free or reduced, or if they're paid. They still would get free lunches in K through 8, but that number goes for several things. It goes for Title I, it goes for LAP, it goes for other fundings we have throughout the district. A lot of those fundings are done through the state, and they need the free and reduced percentages. And if those percentages are low, then our funding is low, or we may not meet the funding requirements because we don't have enough. And that's why we need that paperwork filled out, because it tells us where everybody is at, or the kids mainly are at, how they are qualified for free or reduced. And if the more we get, then possibly next year we could be free even for the high school. So that's what we're trying to work towards.
So I think if we can just help get the word out as you talk to people, hear
Sure,
people,
sure.
try to get that, encourage
Okay.
people. And is it, just a curiosity came to me, I know people have concerns about the confidentiality. Is this just a survey? Does they have to say who they are, or does it?
Yeah, it does have to say who they are so that we can identify the student.
Okay.
But that information is not
Doesn't tell
passed
anybody.
on to anybody. It just gives us a total of how many free and reduced are in elementary or middle school or high school.
Okay.
But the information itself is not passed
So
on.
this is just not a survey then, it's an actual application to.
Well, yes and no. So they built it, the state has built it into one this year. And it is a survey for the K through 8, so we would know how they would be qualified if they needed to qualify. But it's also the same survey for the high school, and it would qualify them. They only need to fill out one survey per family. It's not, each school has to have its own survey, or each student. It's only one per family, so that would identify the entire family or household if you have multiple people living in your household.
Free lunches, breakfast and lunch for students. I was thinking that passed in the legislature,
It did.
but they didn't fund it, right?
It
Oh,
did.
darned.
Imagine
Isn't
that.
isn't that amazing?
Yes.
Another one of those, okay.
Yes, so
Yeah,
that's
I
kind of
thought
where
it
we're
passed.
at this year. We thought we had everybody as free for the high school included, and because of the funding, the way it was all worded, we came shortfall for the high school. So unfortunately for that, but if we could get this paperwork filled out, possibly next year, we could be all funded again.
Okay,
So we would appreciate some help.
okay.
And I will, as soon as we're allowed to put it on the website, which hopefully would be any day, we will contact you with a link to your website that you could put on there where they could fill out the application, and it would shoot it right back to the school.
Okay, that might be,
Make it easy.
no, it makes it easy, but that's a lot of the reason that they don't want to do it, because they don't want their name, they don't want to have to do it that way.
Absolutely,
You
yeah.
know, So there would be a way for them to come to the school and fill that out too?
They can fill it out right now. We do have paper copies of it there
Yeah,
right now.
that's what I'm thinking, yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of parents do it. We're doing welcome back meetings right now. Every school has their assigned time, and they are available throughout the year.
Okay.
And it also means if you fill out that application and you're making $100,000 right now, so you don't qualify at the high school, but in, say, January, you get laid off, and now maybe you do qualify.
Yeah.
So that would kick it in a different way. And that's okay. You can refill it out at any time.
Okay.
And so, Ms. Stevens, do I understand this is ostensibly for free breakfast, free lunch for the students? But it sounds like this information is also used as a basis for determining other benefits, other grants, other monies.
Absolutely, yes. And a lot of people don't understand that if you do qualify for free or reduced, you could get reduced sports, you can get reduced ASB, or even we had the prom this year that they had reduced prices for, but you have to qualify for free or reduced lunches first. Okay?
This is just another example of the community funding or contributing towards funding the school district. We recently passed the school levy. Thank you everyone who voted for that.
Yes.
And that was for those items that the state legislature, as I understand it, does not provide, like sports programs and
Absolutely, yes.
so what this provides is actually subsidizing the kids to actually be involved in the sports programs, the
Yes.
cost to join the football team, or the cost for getting on a band trip, or things like that.
Yes, and that's what this helps with that. Some of the schools are doing it, they get free sports if they do, if they have free or reduced lunch. Some are reduced. It depends on the school and what they're applying for. Our buildings, it depends on what they're applying for. So it helps a lot for a lot of different things.
And one of the things, isn't it, to help with academics, that there are programs for
Yes,
special programs for kids who need a little extra help.
yes.
So it's far beyond just getting free breakfasts. This is something that's important for every kid and for all the district. It's just worth filling out the paperwork, I think, for
Yes, our Title
families.
I and LAP programs are both special funded, and those go off of how much free and reduced we have. So if we don't meet the qualifications, we may not be able to help with that. And Title I and LAP have been around for years. Those are big, important things through the school that gives kids extra help for those that need it. And then if we have quite a bit of free and reduced, we may get more money for it too. So that it all helps in different ways.
Something worth advertising and promoting, I think.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, appreciate you coming in, and I'll be seeing you next year.
I'm sure you will.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome. Take care. Another thing on here, we just wanted to briefly kind of touch base with you on. We met with the Homeowners Association for Hidden Meadows today. They're looking at disbanding their Homeowners Association. Jason can probably speak more fluently on it than I can, but anyway, they have some parcels of land. If you drive by there's some parcels in front where that little playground is, and then they have a buffer that goes behind the east side of the development. I'm trying to think. I think it's east. Anyway, there's a buffer between the
They
homes
call it
and
the green belt.
There's a green belt back there. When they disband, if I understand what we were told right, that part of what they have to do is offer that property to the city, kind of. You speak to me if I'm speaking out of turn.
No, you're right so far. Yeah, they want
So they
to.
came to us today to ask us if we're interested in this. If we say no, they can offer it to the county, I guess. They were talking
Yes.
about going to the county. So it's a buffer. You can see up past, we only got 3 of them, but you can,
Yeah,
Jason
I know
knows.
I know what they're talking about. Yeah.
They also want the streets to be maintained, which that doesn't need to be maintained
Yeah.
for years down the road. It's brand new.
yeah,
And then the park right there, but I don't know.
yeah. The
The
gentleman
city
did
wants-
say he would take care of it, but theoretically, we'd be responsible to take care of it.
Well, he's been taking care of
Yeah.
it this whole time.
So it's nothing we're obligated to do. They are just coming to us to say, are we interested? And we don't have to make a decision tonight. We said it'd probably be next meeting before
What are they talking?
They just want to give it to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're required, what we talked about is that this.
It should just be given to the homeowners, and the homeowners maintain it right there
Yeah.
in their backyard.
So anyway, this is part of that disillusion that they have to, I
But
guess,
there's a few
divest of
people
all
like
these.
that.
you know.
All of their assets,
Yeah.
yeah, so they can, yeah.
But anyway, just something to put on your, we'll probably have it on the next agenda to see what, if anybody wants, what we want to do with it. But this was the first crack at just knowing what they're looking for. So that's all we had on our work session, and we're kind of early. I'm sorry,
How about meeting?
Wolf Haven, do you want to, we can do either the reports or Wolf Haven? I'm sorry, I don't remember.
I'm Jeff.
Jeff, would you like to just do your presentation now versus waiting until our regular meeting starts? Since we're all here and, yeah,
Great.
thank you for being here.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for having me. Just got a little bit of slides. I understand I have up to about 15 minutes to chat with you all.
Sure, we got time, so.
All right. Great. Well, thank you for having me, Mayor and Council. It's really great to be here. It's an honor. My name is Jeff Willard. I'm the Executive Director at Wolf Haven International. I've been there for 2 years now. I'm sure many of you have been to Wolf Haven over the years, or at least know plenty about it. It's located just up near Offit Lake. We've been there since 1982 on that property, founded by Steve and Linda Coons, who are actually still residents of Tenino. And I just had lunch with them last week down at the Sandstone Cafe. They're doing very well. They actually just published a memoir of their entire time with Wolf Haven through the 80s and 90s. So if you're interested in learning a little bit of that history, I encourage you to check out that book. But, Wolf Haven International, our mission is to conserve and protect wolves and their habitat. And we do that through a lot of different ways that I'll be talking about, here with you tonight. A couple things to note just about our connection to Tenino. Of course, we are located in Tenino. We employ 20 staff, many of whom are residents of Tenino. And of course, we are also educating many people, adults and kids, including students of Tenino High School and middle school, homeschool groups, other private groups, Girl Scouts. So there's a long and robust connection with Tenino residents, of course. So again, our mission is to conserve and protect wolves and their habitat, and we do that through 3 pillars: sanctuary, education, and conservation activities. So we can talk a little bit about each of these tonight, and then I'll also be bringing you up to speed on one of our fundraising campaigns that we're launching just as we speak. So in the sanctuary, we care for displaced captive-born wolves. These are wolves that are typically born into the black market pet trade, or maybe some of them might come from zoo environments, stuff like that. And these are animals that, for one reason or another, who had owned these animals and brought them into the world as pets, they can't handle them anymore. And so these animals are either destined for euthanasia or destined for permanent residence at a sanctuary like ours. So we try to rescue as many of these animals as we can. Although they are wolves, because they were raised by humans, they are not candidates for entering the wild in any way. So these animals are either going to end up at a sanctuary like ours, or they're going to have to be killed because they can't end up in a humane society or animal shelter or anything like that. So we care for these animals. We provide them with lifetime homes in sanctuary just up the road. We've cared for over 330 wolves in our 42-year history. And the wolves that are no longer with us are actually in our cemetery, which you can visit next time you're at Wolf Haven. We currently have 45 wolves in residence. We have a mix of gray wolves, Mexican wolves, red wolves. We also have wolf-dog hybrids. Those are animals that are part wolf, part dog. And we also have 2 coyotes, and we've rescued those coyotes, and they also serve as a great comparison between what is a wolf and what is a coyote. So they're a good demonstration animal for that. And then, of course, we have our animal care staff that cares. Sorry, was there a question? I thought I might have heard something. We have our animal care staff that cares for these animals. That pictured right there is Pam Maciel. She's been a resident of Tenino for 12 years, and she's our sanctuary director. And that's her cleaning out some of the tubs that each of our animals have access to keep cool and drink and all that kind of stuff. We are, one of the things we're most proud of is we are the only wolf sanctuary in the world to be accredited by the Global Federation of Animal Sanctuaries. That's GFAS accreditation. That's the gold standard for sanctuary accreditation, which means they have the highest requirements, the strictest requirements for operations and care of animals, and we meet those regularly. So we are really setting the bar, not just locally or nationally, but really internationally, for what providing quality care to wolves in captivity is like. So we're very proud of that. And we, use that as a way to just kind of try to model and be a good steward and educate other sanctuaries on how to evolve and grow towards a sort of operation that we're operating here in Tenino. We, of course, are open to public visits. We offer public visits every Saturday and Sunday. You can reserve those ahead of time online on our website. There are groups of about that size. About 10 individuals can come in on each visit and get close to our animals and see them in a naturalistic space like you're kind of seeing there. All of our enclosures are between 1/3 of an acre to an acre, and they're constructed within the natural environment. So a lot of trees that are much older than Wolf Haven are still existing within and around our enclosures. And of course, as I mentioned, we do a lot of education visits, not just on site, but also in classrooms. We will go to classrooms and do tabling. We've done a lot of events here in Tenino. We were at City Park for Earth Day this year, and constantly trying to engage the community, educate them about wolves, wolf biology, wolf ecology, and also explain to them why it's really not a great idea to try to get a wolf or a wolf dog as a pet. Because again, they might be really cute and cuddly as pups, but once they become adults, they're often too much to handle for their owners, and they end up having to come to a sanctuary like ours. So, ideally, our goal would essentially be to not have to exist, because we've so thoroughly educated folks about the importance of not having wolves and wolf dogs as pets that no longer are there wolves, being forced to go into sanctuary. We would rather not have these animals in captivity if we didn't have to, and if we didn't feel like they deserve to have lives of integrity. We also have a very robust volunteer base, 57 volunteers currently, many of whom are Tenino residents. If any of you would ever like to volunteer with Wolf Haven, it's a great way to engage with our community and share, the wonders of what this beautiful sanctuary has to offer with all of our other visitors that are coming. We also want to let you know, I'm sure many of you do know, we have a 40-acre prairie on our property. We have a total of 88 acres. Some of that is for the sanctuary, but much of it is this native Mimamon prairie, which is a rare prairie habitat. And 25 years ago, it was covered with Scotch broom and a bunch of other invasive species. We've worked with the Center for Natural Lands Management and Eco Studies to, over the last 25 years, restore it. It is now beautiful native prairie land and just a gem, similar to Glacial Heritage Preserve, of course on a little bit of a smaller scale, but just glorious, providing habitat for Mazama pocket gopher, western bluebirds. It's a candidate site for the release of Taylor's checker spot butterfly, which is a critically endangered butterfly species. So, and this is open to the public. You don't have to book a visit to the sanctuary to see our prairie. Anytime that we're open to the public, which again is Saturdays and Sundays, you and your family could come on out and walk our prairie on our public paths. So I encourage you to do that, especially springtime and early summer, of course, is really beautiful on the prairie with all the wildflowers. So come check that out. We also, just real quick, I want to let you know, we are active in statewide conservation issues with wolves. This here is a photo of the Wolf Advisory Group, which is a body convened by the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife. It's made up of stakeholders from all sectors of society. So there are ranchers, livestock producers, hunters, environmentalist group, conservation groups like ours are all coming together to talk through the challenges of what it means to share a landscape with wild wolves. Of course, we don't have wolves out here in Western Washington right yet, or at least close to here, but there are a lot of wolves in Northeast Washington, and occasionally they can cause trouble. So these stakeholder groups come together to talk through those challenges and try to make recommendations to Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife about how to manage that population. It's a fascinating example of kind of democratic collaboration with citizen stakeholders. The project I wanted to feature for you all tonight, and I actually have a magazine that I would like to leave one of these for each of you. It goes into detail about this project. We just recently launched a fundraising campaign. It's a capital campaign for a state-of-the-art treehouse education center that we will build on our property in a little over a year from now. We're planning construction October 2025. And this is, again, state-of-the-art. It's designed and will be constructed by Nelson Treehouse. If you ever saw the reality TV show Treehouse Masters, you'll be familiar with some of their work. They're just based up in Fall City, and they just build really beautiful, elegant, again, state-of-the-art tree houses. And so they'll be constructing this for us. It'll be 17 feet off the ground. It'll fit an entire classroom inside, and then it has that outdoor deck where we'll have some interpretive exhibits and panels, and then it'll have that staircase going up, as well as an ADA accessible ramp winding through our canopy. So this will be a great new location for all of our student school groups, all of our adult and family visitors to access. From the deck, you'll actually be able to have a view down into one of our enclosures. You'll have a great view of our prairie. This is a really exciting project that we think will just become, in addition to what Wolf Haven already is, a new landmark for the Tenino landscape. So we're very excited about it. A couple of our goals with this facility, I've already kind of implied some of them. One is we're modernizing our education facilities. Currently, our visiting school groups, the only education facility we have for a classroom experience is in our staff break room. And so they kind of come in and they elbow us out of the way after we've grabbed our food from the microwave, and they sit down and they're able to get an educational experience there. It works, but it's not ideal. It's not quite like the access to this building that they'll have once this is constructed. The idea is to stoke a sense of awe and wonder, especially in young people's minds, reverence for nature, and to elevate their perspectives. And this is a costly campaign, as you could imagine. A state-of-the-art treehouse is not cheap. So we're currently fundraising $750,000, and that'll fund all of the design, the construction, the installation of educational components within it, and all of the kind of other attendant activities that we're going to need to do for this. So it's very exciting. If you're interested in helping us fundraise for this in any way, I can point you to how to donate. But more important than that, if you just want to help spread the word and let people know that this really cool and exciting feature will soon be on our landscape, I think that would be great. Again, a little over a year from now, you'll be able to come visit Wolf Haven and see this treehouse. I just have a couple takeaways I'll throw up on the screen, and maybe we can have just a little chat. So main takeaways from this talk tonight is, Wolf Haven is doing a lot of really cool, exciting stuff in sanctuary, education, and conservation directions. Those are our 3 pillars. So I do believe we have an opportunity for all of you to come visit Wolf Haven on September 27th at 9 a.m. I think Jeff may already be planning on coming, which would be awesome, and all of the rest of you are invited as well. And I can follow up with an email and some of the logistics about that if you'd like. And then the rest of you who are in attendance, please come on by Wolf Haven sometime as well. So I guess I will leave it there, and maybe we can have a nice chat. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. I would just
What
say-
time on
go ahead.
September 27th?
9 a.m.
Okay.
I would just say I think you're a great asset to our community and beyond, and I would look forward to working together and trying to promote each. We try to promote visitors to our city, and I think it would be great if we could work together to really,
Yes,
So-
for sure. I would love that. Yeah. So we reach out to about 10,000 students every year, and then we have visitors. Some of our visitors are students. We have several thousand visitors, students, and then we have, in addition to that, a couple thousand over the course of the year, families and other folks, tourists who are coming to check out Wolf Haven. So it's a really wonderful, excuse for many people to kind of come through this area, and then of course stop into downtown and do more. So yeah, I'd love to brainstorm other ways that we can encourage more of that sort of stuff.
I would too. So I'll sooner or later we'll get in contact.
Good.
And
All
maybe
right.
talk about some things like that.
Yeah, thank you.
It's really fascinating. I've been there several times.
Okay, good.
It's been a few years because I took my grandson.
Right, yeah, okay. And yeah, that's another important thing. We've been on the landscape for 42 years. As you can imagine, we've changed a fair amount. Things have evolved in the sanctuary world in those 42 years. If you haven't been to Wolf Haven since like the 80s or the 90s, you might not even recognize it, because back then, I didn't visit at that time, but back then I understand that it was a little bit more like a roadside attraction, and we had a lot of kind of activities that were more for human entertainment. But really now we've kind of transitioned it such that we're there primarily for the well-being of the animals. We consider their well-being of the utmost importance. And then when humans are visiting, they're there for educational purposes and kind of mind expansion purposes. We're not there trying to like turn the animals into entertainment in any way. So in that way, if you haven't been in 10 or 15 years, I encourage you to come on back.
It's probably been
Come on, you can say.
15 years. I'm trying to think,
Yeah.
my granddaughter is like 24 and she
Right.
was probably 12. So
Okay.
like
Yeah.
12 years or so.
Well, I'm glad that maybe you'll be coming on September
Yeah.
27th
Yeah.
then. Yeah.
Great.
Well, thank you, appreciate it. And we'll,
Yeah.
we'll work, yeah, if we can get a link, maybe, I mean,
Yes.
I'm willing to share it on, you know.
Me too.
For sure.
Correspondence, so.
Yeah, and so I'm going to hand one of these out to each of you guys. This is so we do have a quarterly magazine which all of our members and supporters get mailed to them. It's pretty cheap. I think it's $50 to become a member annually, and you'll get this quarterly magazine sent to your home, filled with really beautiful photos and cool articles and updates about what we're up to. This one is from spring 2024, and it features a 4-page description of our treehouse campaign. So each of you, if you want to take a closer look at that, you can figure out some of the details there, and we can talk more about it on September 27th.
Good.
Thank you, guys.
So Jeff, quick question.
Yeah.
The education programs you do, are they all on site or do you travel to?
We do travel, yeah. So we do a lot on site, but then our education staff is going into schools all over Western Washington, and even sometimes on the east side of the Cascades, sometimes all the way out to Spokane for festivals, fairs. We're tabling at a lot of events. Sometimes going into classrooms even out that far. So yeah, we get a lot of requests from all over the state, and sometimes even down into Portland. And we can't do every event, so we kind of have to prioritize and triage. But it's through that process we get to engage with a lot of different communities over time, and then encourage those people who are seeing at offsite events to come to Tenino, right? Yeah.
Very, very good. I know Tenino Elementary School is doing natural environments. That's their theme this
Okay.
year, and I look forward to seeing.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Yeah. Let's connect on that. Yeah. We're regularly in Tenino schools, and yeah, we can add that to the list. Yeah.
Super.
Great. All right. I'm gonna hand these out.
Thank you again, appreciate you stepping in.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. I know.
That's fascinating.
Thanks, sir.
Take care, have a great evening. Okay, we will just move on to reports until it's time to start our regular meeting. Chamber of Commerce, is there any report?
No report. I don't
Yeah, we
know.
had a pretty small meeting.
Yeah,
last-
a very
was it-
small
yeah.
meeting on the 19th of, just a very small one, but the fire chief came and explained the different, where the money has gone and what they bought.
Right.
And we also talked about the inspections, the businesses,
Right.
that they're going to be going around talking to the businesses. And more or less just to be able to look and see how things are, where the exits are, and so the fire department is familiar with,
The buildings.
yeah. Is that all he said? I can't remember, John.
They're trying to train some of their firefighters, so,
Yeah.
Our building inspector contractor, they have a person that's a fire inspector on staff, so he's gonna come down and help them kind of learn about doing building inspections, and the fire department's gonna pay for it, so we'll have some people on staff there that can
Oh,
kind
that's
of do
good.
basic fire inspections, like I used to do when I was a firefighter. You know, you look for, make sure the fire extinguishers are serviceable and
Yeah.
that they don't have a bunch of extension cords, and it's usually just to try to get people to realize, sometimes people just don't realize, some of the fire hazards. So I think it'll be a good thing for our city to kind of get back into the habit of doing those
Yeah.
inspections. EDC, do we have any report from the EDC?
No.
Uh,
I did leave one there for Jody. Did you guys see that?
Yeah,
I printed it. Okay.
you wanna do it? No, I didn't
I can
either.
read it.
Thank you.
From Jody's, from the tonight's report, the Tenino Community Service Center helps with power, water, and propane. How this works: a shut-off notice must be in hand along with ID. We will then contact the utility provider and set up a one-time payment. This does not necessarily mean that the whole bill will be paid, but at the very least, it will give one a get up If you have any questions, call the food bank at 360-264-5505. Message our Facebook page or visit our webpage at teninocsc.org. Have a great day, and let us help keep the lights burning and the water flowing. So yeah, so basically if you have a bill that's past due and you can't, you're facing maybe a shut off, they can provide at least a one-time assistance to help you keep those on. So that's a great one to get out to our community. That since we're talking about it, I just got a report from her, for July about how many people they're serving. And I don't have it right with me, but it was kind of shocking from July 2023 to July 2024, how many more people they're serving in our community. It was up around it was 2,800, I think, or something.
Yeah.
Individuals, not households, but individuals. So if a family
Yeah.
has 5 in their household, that's, fine. But it was a significant increase. And, like she said, people that are a lot of times living paycheck to paycheck, and, these price increases, even though our economy in many ways is doing good, are struggling to keep up with food and some of the necessities. So they do an amazing job. The amount of food they've collected over last year is like double, and they double like their volunteer base. So they are really doing a great thing for our community, and the need's not getting smaller.
Well, they also service Bucota.
Yeah, Bucota.
Just
and
on a
some
Friday,
Fort Rainier, too.
on a Friday, they take lunches over during the summer for the students because there's no school. And they serve anywhere from 25 to 30 kids every weekend, or every Friday, and give them enough food to get them through the weekend.
I have a little sticker here someplace. One of the things on the next one, VCB, I did meet with her. They're having a gala, basically. It's in Tenino this year. They have annually, they have just a little hour and a half get together where people can come in and hear about what they're doing. It's not the VCB anymore. It's the Experience Olympia and Beyond.
And Beyond, yes,
I always call it the VCB.
yeah.
It's not a VCB. It's kind of like
I was
John
trying to
with the
figure
city
out what
versus
you were
the town.
talking about.
Anyway, it's going to be at the Sandstone
Kodiak.
Cafe, and I'll get the.
It's gonna be at the Kodiak Rooms.
The Kodiak Room,
Yeah.
Not the Sandstone, the
No,
Kodiak Room.
Yeah,
I'll get it out to you. I thought I had a little piece of paper
I
with
have
a
it,
date
I
on.
have it here.
Oh,
Just a
here it is.
second here.
September 19th from 5 to 7:30.
Yeah, and you can get your tickets online.
Yeah, so if you want to hear a little bit, I'm going to just do a little presentation. They asked me to kind of do some highlights of
So you
Tenino.
could free dinner
So I'm going to
then.
try to put together a little slideshow that will show some of the things from Tenino and share those with other people that come there. So
It's Annette.
Annette, yeah.
She gave the presentation to us here, so, yeah.
Study, I know George just had a transplant and seems to be doing
We had
great.
a
Yeah, we had a
actually a very good meeting. Who was it? Who was the guy that was, his name
You
was
shouldn't have
Jeff
all senior
Stewart,
citizens
thanks.
down here.
Yeah. Oh, man, who was it? He gave us a report on,
I'm drawing blank too. We can come back to it later if we think about it.
okay,
Arts Commission,
no,
Timberland Regional Library. We did
She's-
meet, Troy and I met with the librarian, just a discussion about, we've always had this kind of ongoing little, I think we had a good meeting, and we sat down and we figured things out, actually. We just said, hey, we're gonna make this work, and I think we were all happy with what we decided to do to make sure the maintenance on the building happens as necessary. So we are, and shortly after that, we got a request to meet with the director of Timberland Regional Library and a couple other people. Cheryl. So we're gonna, tomorrow, I think we're having a meeting with them. I'm not sure, I think I kind of maybe know but I'm not sure, so I don't wanna speak out of term, but
No.
they're gonna be calling us to have a discussion about some things. So, I think, like I said, I think that went good, and hopefully that kind of gets us on that used to drive me crazy that we had to kind of always be butting heads with the library, but.
well, we've been on pretty good terms.
We've been pretty good terms
since-
recently,
Yeah, since
but yeah.
that one person isn't
Yeah.
there anymore.
So anyway, that was good. Committee, Civil Service Commission,
Yeah, just not much to report, from the last time I was up here. I was talking about how we had a pretty big spike of crime and reported crime, but it's kind of the opposite now. We're actually at a pretty low point. So I guess that's a good thing. It means proactivity is working. So other than that, I don't really have anything to report on. I'm just here for questions if you guys have anything. Or
No, we appreciate you, thank you.
oh, thank you. Okay.
Can't think of anything.
Oh yeah.
Just one thing that I've noticed, down at the other end of Sussex, as people are coming in, they're not slowing down for that 35 miles an hour until they
Talk about-
finally get almost into the city.
Yeah, it's
You're talking about over
ridiculous.
by Baptist Church there?
Yes.
At the other end? Okay. Yeah, we can definitely
Yeah.
post up there a little bit more
Well,
and see
what I
if we
was
can.
thinking is maybe just put out a car.
The dummy car?
Yeah, I was just saying, I think we're down a car right now.
Yeah, I know they are.
So
Whatever you can.
once we get one back up, we could certainly post one up there. That's not a bad idea.
And the reason that I bring that suggestion is because a few years ago, I used to, the Beaver, did you see the Beaver car?
Yeah.
I used to drive that in the mornings and the evenings around the schools so people see that there was a presence. I couldn't do anything, but there was a presence and they would slow down.
Right, and just the
Yeah,
presence
it's-
is a deterrent.
It's really bad. Sometimes when, like coming back from Yale, when I slow down to 35 and they're right on your tail because they want you to,
And they use your Jake brake all night long.
Yeah.
yeah, we're not supposed to do
So
that.
yeah,
It's against the
we
law.
can certainly
That's
post up
against the law.
there more.
Turn it off.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, if you put a dummy car there, every now and then you replace it with a live car just to keep people interested.
Oh, keep them on their toes. Totally get
I
it.
was just gonna suggest that all they needed to do was drive one of those cars that doesn't work too well and park it there.
Yeah. Well, once it's out of the shop, we'll see.
Yeah.
Cars, post them all over town. Somebody does that down by the ocean. They always have I forget what city it is.
Oh,
down there,
really?
where they have a car sitting there all the time and you drive
Shore
it.
used to do that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I remember a billboard one time that just showed half a police car.
Oh, really?
Like we're
Coming
sitting
out
Like
the,
it's
out
hiding,
the
yeah.
back end of it.
on that hill coming into town. We saw that down there and slowed down. Yeah.
Got to get
Maybe
creative.
we'll get
Got to
some,
get creative.
some cutouts.
Yes.
Anything else? Facade improvement grant, do you have anything there?
Report.
Finance
Thank you.
committee, we're gonna be having a meeting soon. We're working on getting all the numbers in the budget, the new numbers, the real numbers. We haven't quite got it finished yet, so we'll have a meeting with the finance committee when we get all those, make sure wanna make sure everything's right, because I don't wanna,
Yep.
so once we get that done, we'll meet with the finance committee, and then we're gonna probably be bringing you a resolution or ordinance to amend the budget, because we got some things we need to get right, so probably next meeting, we'll be seeing that, and we'll try to get it out to you as soon as we can, so take a look at those packets every once in a while, so you have a chance to peruse it before our meeting, to see what we're doing. So that's kind of where we are on that. Planning Commission, thank you for coming tonight.
Alrighty, good evening. All right, so last planning commission meeting, not a whole lot. Just kind of got some briefs on a couple of new things. I remember one of the last reports I gave, I believe we were talking about having a deficit in housing for higher income thresholds in and around the city. That number has been revised based on some capacity and density analyses that were done. And so now we're looking at a deficit in the lower income housing category. So it's kind of going back and forth. We'll probably see, I think, maybe one more set of numbers on that before we're totally planned out here. But nothing as drastic as it was. So basically just looking at a couple of easy solutions on that. And potentially expanding allowable housing types in residential zoned areas, expanding things to like, you can add a duplex to a single family home lot, things like that. And that should take care of that, what they call a middle housing gap, which is for incomes that are about 80% of the area median income. So that's essentially it. Any questions?
No.
Thank you for
Cool.
giving us an update, appreciate it.
Thanks, Andy.
Did Public Safety committee have anything?
No.
Public Works, nothing? Public Works, you want to come up and give a report?
Wake up there, Troy.
Since the council won't say anything, I'll make you, yeah.
Good evening. I don't have too much to talk about, but this weekend's the last weekend for the pool. I think it was a pretty good year for the pool. Next week we'll be winterizing. We're jumping on that really quick, putting the cover on and turning off the pumps. So
Good.
power, we're not eating up power. So the next one is the campground will be also closed. I think it would be the last day would be the was that Monday?
Monday?
Yeah,
The first?
first. Correct, yeah.
Oh, no, second. That'd be the
Second,
Yeah.
whatever that day is.
It's Labor Day.
Correct, yep. So it will be closed then. We'll shut the bathrooms down and put some barricades up, and so we won't have too many issues moving on for the rest of the year. Park Street, they will be here tomorrow to get started. Be here Wednesday and Thursday, and I think Friday, and then the following week is they'll be paving. And then, like I said, it takes 2 weeks before they asphalt the cure, so they can come back and paint. So that I think the schedule got mixed up a little bit. We were trying to do some drainage, add some stuff to it, and TIB said no, we're not paying for it. So, and we didn't have the money to pay for it, so we just went back to the original scope, and that's what we're doing. Later on down the road, maybe the city can do some of the drainage part of that needs to be done. So, the last one is that's wastewater treatment plant. We are not hauling out sludge this year, so we're saving a little bit of money there, $150,000. So next year we'll probably haul out. We got plenty of room in the sludge pond to hold out for another year. What's that?
For 300,000.
No, same amount. The problem was, we take 2 samples, the VARs, and one of them came back good and the other one came back bad. Don't know why. It's the same stuff, whatever. So that puts us to doing something differently. When you land apply that, you got to till it in at the same time, so the cost goes up. So we opted not to do it this year just because the cost was up. We wouldn't get that much out. Next year we're hoping do some more aeration to it. Will be good, and probably most of that pond will be emptied out next year. So then we got so many years before we have to do it again. So which is good. But other than that, I think that's all I got.
Talk your screens. Have we talked about screens? What's
Fine
going on?
screens. I was going to
You might
wait
as
till we
well
figure out what exactly, but we can talk about it. So the fine screens, the numbers came back a little bit higher than we predicted. I think Gibson Olson estimated around $300 and some odd thousand for the project. Well, it's up to 700 now. And so he is going, that's with everything else, yeah. But we are going, Mike Marshall, Gibson Olson is dealing with ecology. Hopefully they can cover some of that too.
He suggested they might give us some kind of
Some money?
grant to
I
cover
hope
part
so.
of it, so
God.
I think he's
Yeah.
working with them on that, but
So
ultimately.
that'll be good.
But we need to get it done, so.
Yeah, we need to get it.
One or another, we gotta
Yeah,
get it done,
I know we budgeted so much for it to happen, so maybe it's where we can at least get started and getting that thing going, because it's a very crucial part of the plant that needs to be replaced. But so I'm just waiting to hear back from Mike. But there is that option to get started with the money that we already budgeted for. So, but
I'm just curious, I thought we talked about this before, those kind of have an expected life, I think, is that what we talked about before, like when they kind of lasted longer than than really what they were expected to last?
What they expected for, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we've been doctoring together for the last 5 years.
Yeah, so it's just one of those things, it's time to get them.
Yeah.
Get
We just have to do it, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the nice things about our sewer fund, we budgeted 300,000, but that's why we need to have a healthy balance in that fund, because something goes wrong out there. Nothing's cheap. When you
Nothing's
start
cheap
talking
out there.
sewer, so
Nothing.
It's nice to have that buffer in our sewer funds to deal with those kind of things.
Exactly. Yep. So that's all I got, unless you guys got something for me. Anything?
code
I see
enforcement?
I see Jeff's over there wheels turning.
Tonnage. Can you talk a
Yeah.
little bit about that?
Well, I'm not sure if I know enough about it to give you the answer, but, you know, trucks, you know, commercial trucks, whatever it is, weight-wise, they pay tonnage. Even on regular pickup trucks, we pay tonnage. And where does that money go? I don't know. You'd think the state would trickle down some of that to
Since we have to
cities.
repair the road.
Well, how do we find out about it?
I don't know. It's
That's the problem.
it's out of my realm. I don't have a clue who we'd even contact or
Department of
anything.
Transportation, somebody with bank or, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest one for me, if we can get money for Old 99, since that's ours from,
Well, I'm wondering if the, Utilities and Transportation Commission would be one to address that situation for us.
yeah,
Or Transportation or State Patrol even.
yeah.
Any one of them. Any
Maybe
one
make
of
some
them.
calls, maybe give me
Yeah.
a reminder.
Might be a good starting
I'll
point.
see if I can make
Yeah,
some calls and try to
because
track down who's the person that.
It's gotta be someplace. Somebody's got to be able to tell
Yeah.
us how we can find out
Yeah, where that money goes.
where the money
It
goes.
should trickle down,
Because it's
right?
our roads that they're ruining coming
Yeah.
through, so, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Or it's their highway in our jurisdiction that.
Yeah.
Well, but it's our
It's our highway.
responsibility is what I'm saying. And so
Yeah.
if we've got money coming on that tonnage, we should have it.
We should have it.
Yeah.
We should see it. So
Yeah.
that was my thought on the tonnage part of it. I
Yeah.
don't know where it goes or how it's distributed or wherever, so,
Interesting.
yeah. So,
Okay.
okay, that's it. That's all I got.
Okay, we get going quickly. Can we finish all these up before?
Yeah,
we
we know,
yeah.
we'll
Park
have you next.
specialist, she's not here.
I have a tiny
Yep.
update for her stuff.
Okay,
Can I go next?
yep, you can go park specialist and clerk treasurer, then I'll do a quick.
Really fast. I don't have a ton to report. Just to touch on Troy and Park Specialist Jessica, the murals for both the concession stand and the library will be starting on Monday. So keep an eye out for that. It should only take a week to get those done. I met with HUD regarding the Egg Park grant that we're working on getting funds accessed. That will be for finishing up all of the finishes on the landscaping. We've had 5 records requests since the last meeting, and they've all been fulfilled and complete and closed. The AWC loss prevention grant has been submitted for reimbursement as of today. That one was due at the end of the month. And the SLCGP was finally reimbursed for $63,000 that we've been waiting on forever, it felt like. Working on the budget amendment, meeting with the city planner tomorrow to discuss all the things.
Thank you.
I'll do mine just real quick also. I already talked about, we met with the librarian. We had a meeting, just a general meeting with, about the ag park. Things seem to be moving along. All the big infrastructure parts are kind of done. Now it's getting down to the small stuff. So hopefully we're not going to have any more big change orders or anything like that, because it's getting down to the smaller stuff. Had the South County Mayor's meeting there. We talked about the FLIR cameras. They're hoping that all the jurisdictions, the county. Flock. I don't know why I call them FLIRs.
I don't
Or
either.
heat sensing ones that I use at the fire department.
They're flock.
Flock cameras, all the jurisdictions in South County going together and each kind of having a coordinated effort with the flock cameras. So that's what we talked about there. Had a brief meeting with the fire department in Bucota about how I just kind of brought them together because I had met with the Bucota mayor and there were some issues with their response. So they met with the fire chief, met with Annette from Olympia and Beyond, which I talked about too. They're willing to help us any way we need it. So if people have things that they want me to take to her, let me know and I can talk to her about anything like that. Department head meeting today and meeting with Hidden Meadows about the subject that I gave you. So that's kind of what we did, what I've done. Liaisons, be that.
We had our meeting, or I went to their meeting recently. They're getting ready for the coming year with the programs and resources for families and students. They have an event going on tomorrow at the middle school. They're showing Screenagers, a film on the effect of smartphones and whatnot on kids. It's for 18 and over. If you're a parent and are seeing your kids consumed by the devices they have and being affected by that, it'd be worth seeing. It's free. It's at the middle school from 6 to 8 p.m. They have Screenagers too a little later. When is that? September 25th. And there'll be more information on that coming up. Remembering that the BTHAT is the purpose of that is to teach parents and kids or show them different ways to live better, avoiding drugs and other influences that affect them negatively. You mentioned the food bank is going to be at Dakota this Friday, I think, and BTHAT's going to be there handing out literature and swag and whatnot with the food bank folks. So Bucota will have a chance to meet them and see what they have. They're also going to be at the Creative Arts Market when is it? September
13th.
14th? 13th.
Isn't it the 13th?
I have
12th.
14th, Saturday.
14th, okay.
They've got a booth there, and they're going to be doing rock painting. Apparently, that's very popular. If
Yeah,
you
they
like
were at
painting.
the last one too.
Right. And again, handing out information on what they do and what resources parents have and families. That's that, and we'll have more with
What
the
is
next
B,
week.
what does, a lot of these people don't know what BTHAT stands for.
Be that Dakota
You better-
Tenino Healthy Action
Team.
Team. Yep.
BTHAT, yeah.
So they're good folks. They're heavily represented by the school. And one of the things that I've been wondering about is if we can't have some of the other organizations in town that have kids or deal with kids, private schools, churches, sports groups, anyone who has a chance to be a positive influence for kids. I recommend connecting with BTHAT and finding what resources they have. You know, this is all for making it a better place for our kids and the community as a whole as a result.
And the first president of BTHAT is sitting right there with his cap on. John
Is that you,
Callahan
John?
was the first president when it first started.
Is that it?
That's it, sir.
Okay, Solid Waste Advisory Board,
Meeting is next week.
TCOM 911, School Board.
School board had its meeting yesterday. They are, as you can imagine, very busy getting ready for a school opening next week. And there, what news was there? There was the, apparently the enrollment is pretty much what they had anticipated. So in terms of students and revenue coming in for those students. So the budget is still tight, still short on money, but it's still solid and no changes they need to do with that.
They're talking about, sorry, go ahead. Finish.
The superintendent, Mr. Endicott, said that they're working on the inside of the schools out, getting the classrooms ready for the students, and spiffing up the grounds is secondary, and that'll come in due course for anyone who's worried about the grass, I suppose. So that's all going along. The other big news was the student, the family income
7:30,
survey.
Mr. Mayor.
What's that?
It's 7:30.
Okay, you can
Yeah.
finish up real quick. Can you just wrap up real quick?
I can wrap up quickly. The student surveys, and again, if you have kids, it's worth doing this. It affects more than just free lunches. It affects other services
Okay.
and opportunities for our kids. So when that comes around, make sure you fill those out, get them back to the school district. Thank you.
Okay, it's 7:30, so we're going to call to order the regular meeting of the Tenino City Council, August 27th, 2024. Please stand for the flag salute. Elaine, you want to start us out? Thank you. Approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any additions to the agenda?
I would like to add council interaction with commissions and committees to the agenda
Under new business?
under new business.
Second.
Council actions with committees. Commissions. Got it. So there's been an addition. Is there?
I said
John
second.
Was it seconded? Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the amended agenda, adding council actions. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting minutes for 8:13.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the meeting minutes for 8/13/2024. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Consent calendar for August 14th, 2024 through August 27th, 2024, consisting of payroll checks 32,615 through 32,616 and ETFs in the amount of $54,593.39. Claims checks 32,617 through 32,652 in the amount of $284,186.33 for a grand total of $339,186.33. And I don't believe there's any cannabis or liquor license renewals.
Move approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent calendar. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. I would like your council's indulgence. We have the VFW here. We have on our agenda for new business to our under proclamations. But if you don't mind, we would like to let them do a little presentation and adopt that, if that's okay.
We have flags coming in and then the Gold Star family.
So.
There.
You're good.
Order arms. Proclamation.
Yes, do you want to speak first, or do you want us to accept the proclamation and speak?
Sure.
You can come up,
Come-
you can
come
come up
up
over
to
here
the
so we can hear
podium.
you on the, and if the green light's not on bright, you can push the little button on the bottom there, we'd appreciate it.
No, no, it's not on.
Push it, there's a button, okay, yeah, there you go.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay, my name's Josie Bobbitt. This is my husband, John. Today's Gold Star Family City Proclamation means a lot to me as a Gold Star mother. I lost my 22-year-old son, Gunnar Leatherwood, a 2019 Tenino High School graduate, last April 9th, 2023, while he was serving in the U.S. Navy in San Diego. Gunnar was a talented artist who always had a sketch pad and a pencil bag, spreading his art wherever he went, including here in Tenino. Not too sure how many are aware that he painted the trestle that's over here on this side of town. He designed wooden money for the Oregon Trails Festival. He painted the dungeon going down into the high school. And he also spread his art throughout the Navy. I want to express a heartfelt thank you to the mayor, the city council, the VFW, American Legion, and Monica, the Gold Star Families of Washington, as well as everyone who took the time out of their busy day to attend today. As Gold Star families, our losses can never be filled, but this Gold Star Family City Proclamation honors the sacrifice of our loved ones and makes me proud to call Tenino my home. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you so much. I'm very humbled and happy to be here with you. And do you want to speak too?
Just a few words. I just wanted to express my thanks to you, Mayor, and to the City Council for making this proclamation. And thank you for attending our little service ceremony. So it means a great deal to us as well. We exist to serve the veterans and families of veterans. So thank you very much.
So before I read this, I just want to say one thing. I think we are the first city in the state and possibly in the United States that are becoming a Gold Star family community. So it's kind of exciting to be our little community, to be part of this, and I'm very proud to be part of this, and I appreciate all the work you do for our veterans in our community, and I look forward to working with you more on other projects. So I'm going to read this proclamation and then we'll take a vote on that. And it says, by the City of Tenino, a proclamation, Gold Star Family City. Whereas the City of Tenino recognizes and honors the immeasurable sacrifices made by the families of fallen service members, known as Gold Star families, who have lost a loved one while on active duty or in the battle at home, whether due to combat, training accidents, or other service-related causes, and whereas the sacrifices of Gold Star families and a testament to the profound dedication, bravery, and patriotism exhibited by their fallen heroes in service to our nation, and whereas it's imperative to honor and support Gold Star families who endure the immense grief and loss of their loved ones while upholding the values of sacrifice, resilience, and strength, and whereas the City of Tenino is committed to expressing its gratitude, respect, and unwavering support for Gold Star families, ensuring their sacrifices are never forgotten and their loved ones' legacies are honored and cherished. And whereas designating City of Tenino as a Gold Star city serves as a visible symbol to our community's enduring commitment to honoring the memory of fallen service members and supporting their families in their time of need. Now therefore, the Tenino City Council do hereby proclaim that City of Tenino, us hereby designated as a Gold Star family cities. We pledge to honor the sacrifices of Gold Star families, to support them in their time of need, and to ensure that the memory of their loved ones live on in our hearts and in the fabric of the community. Signed in the City of Tenino, Washington, this 13th day of August, 2024. So we have before us a...
Move approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt the city as a Gold Star family. Is there any discussion?
Thank you all for your service.
Yes.
Everyone.
Thank you. Again, it's very much appreciated. Okay, hearing no other discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you all again. This means a lot to me that we're doing this, and we look forward to, again, working with you more on other things.
So Mayor, we had a donation from U.S. Army Spec Corps, William Prockman, who paid for 3 signs that can be posted outside the city. So.
Dan, do you want to get a picture with us holding the proclamation? Somebody else want to come up with us, please? Carrie, you hold this, or she can hold this. We haven't signed it yet. Okay.
And may I mention, we have a Gold Star widow here, which we didn't know about at the time of our ceremony, so I don't know your name, so if you can.
Tracy Brew.
So if we had known, we would have acknowledged her at the service, so.
Well, one thing that's important to me is, I know we do these proclamations, but I hope we can work with you to do some kind of annual recognition event, because we make these proclamations and then sometimes they just get put on a shelf. My hope is, between the city and you, each year we kind of schedule something where we kind of have a recognition and, you know, keep recognizing the people that have given their lives and the family. So please, if you think about it, I'll try to remember.
I think one thing we talked about is having a dinner at our post,
Yeah,
right? So
great. Yeah.
we can do that in coordination with you and the council, so.
Thank you again so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Take care. Take care all.
Thank you, everybody.
Attention. Order arms. Flags may leave. I said order arms. It says
It's going the wrong way around.
Order arms. At ease.
Okay, take care all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it
you.
again. These guys get out for 1 second and we'll get going again.
That was good.
New business, we have no old business. New business, Thurston County ILA for EV charging grant. This is a grant that we applied for with the EDC through the county. The money was awarded. I just reviewed it again today to make sure that there is money available for matching. The matching is being provided, there's $40,000 match on this, is being provided by the EDC, so the city has no cost besides probably some staff time to file reports and those kind of things. And I reviewed the budget, there's money for any reporting and those kind of things, so I don't think we'll be spending any city money, and maybe a little staff time.
Okay.
Is there a motion to
Move
approve?
approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the Thurston County ILA for EV grant charging. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I can brag on that one at my little EV car meets. A little Tenino's got it. Next one is city attorney agreement. We better do good on this one. He's sitting right here watching this, so no pressure. We have a motion to approve agreement with attorney Brent Dilley.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the city attorney agreement. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. And you're official. You can start charging us now for being.
Don't we get a freebie the first time? Thank you. Thank you.
It is D-I-L-L-E.
Dave, Dave.
Okay.
D-L-L-I-E.
Have a public comment one.
Oh, sorry.
And this lady's waiting.
Okay, sorry. I got so excited about the veterans thing, I forgot. We do have a public comment. I'm sorry that I forgot that. So if anybody has public comment, please step up, and we have 3 minutes if anybody has a comment. One more chance. Anybody with a comment? We have another chance at the end of the meeting if you wish to. Verizon lease agreement. We talked at last meeting. Is that in here? Or is that?
Yeah, we already talked about it.
We talked about it last time, but yes, it is.
Oh, this one? Sorry. Oh, okay. So remember we talked about, we wanted to add, I
Yeah.
forget what the terms, we asked them.
Every 2 years instead of
2
every
years.
5. Wasn't that it?
Tell me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
We've sent it to them and they
Yes.
basically said no.
And they said that
They don't do that.
It has to be 5.
So
Well,
They say why?
they weren't willing to
It
negotiate.
had something to do with rates or,
The highest rates in
really
the
doesn't
country.
change much. It's a few $100s less, I think, than we have been getting, but
So we can say no, or we can say accept our terms. They seem to not want to negotiate the
Is the agreement just for 1 5-year term?
term. I will just read to make sure.
There's to be renewed every 5 years.
The agreement expires October 31st, commencing November 1st, 2024. The agreement shall be extended for 5 years. The term of the agreement shall thereafter automatically extend an additional four additional terms of 5 years each, so 20 years.
Yeah.
The grantee terminates the agreement by giving the grantor notice of such termination at least 30 days prior to the expiration of the initial term. Rent, trying to see where it says the terms where it goes up.
I
Term
think it's
shall-
$900
It's
a month.
$900 a month.
Or they want a lump sum of what, 221,000 or something like that. But we decided that 900 is what we
Yes.
want.
I'm trying to see, because there was someplace in that other one I thought that said there were an escalator like 10% every
Yes, it
5
did.
years.
It did.
Maybe I'm missing it.
And that's what John
What the
proposed.
question was, yeah.
That the escalation be every 2 years with, go ahead and have the 5-year term. But isn't that right, John? The escalation of 10% on the 2-year period or 2.5 years, whatever. But they said no, so.
Oh, here it is. Term shall increase by 10% upon
Yeah.
commencement of each additional. So every time it renews,
Right.
it goes up 10%, which is 5 years. So
Yeah.
this was reviewed by our attorney and approved as we was, but I mean, the terms are, I mean,
Legally, I'm sure it's just fine. I don't particularly care for the automatic renewal.
yeah.
You know, that means we have zero say.
But
I
doesn't-
won't be here that long.
We can,
but-
well, I won't either, but, you
Yeah,
know.
we'll just throw it on somebody else.
I'll still have my
Who's on the council. No, I'm just teasing, but,
You know, especially with Verizon.
But
You know, they keep their prices down on everything that they do, except for the people that are using the service.
I will say that they did sort of act like, well, we don't actually need to be there, so take it or leave it. I mean, they kind of acted,
oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Of course they're gonna say
that's
that.
they'll find
exactly
somewhere else to put their tower if we don't want it.
Yeah, how much does it cost them to move a cell tower though? But,
I'm not
so-
gonna make the motion.
So, a question on the term, didn't it say that there was a chance to cancel the?
yes,
We
there
can
is.
cancel at each renewal
At
with
each
30 days notice. I mean, if you
Every
want to take it,
5
we got till
years.
October, I'm gonna be meeting, if we want to have any further discussion with our attorney on it, when I meet with him, we can talk. I mean, like I said, I think the form of it is okay, it's just a matter of, is this a good thing for the city to be, you know, the way it is now? So, I mean, they're not gonna pack up their tower and move in the next month, you know, a couple weeks, so.
Well,
If you'd like me,
we've
I
got a
don't-
contract until the end of October anyway,
Yeah.
don't we?
So if
Yeah, I
you'd
don't
like me
think
just
that
to
they
have a
can take
discussion,
that-
I can.
I don't think they can take that tower down because they've got contracts with everybody else on to use that tower.
I know it doesn't.
Yeah, who owns the tower?
Verizon. I
I'm
believe.
guessing Verizon owns a tower, but they lease space to others often,
Mhm.
I think. They may even be where Capcom's, is Capcom's on that too, up there on the
I
hill?
believe so.
So,
I think we need to investigate a little more.
So,
We don't
well,
need,
who-
we don't need to do this tonight.
What is our other options? Like, I mean, who are our other options?
I mean, I mean, just
Well,
incidentally, you know, that the fire department, one of the commissioners at the fire department has property, and he has a lease with a cell tower on his property. I mean, he talks about something better than we've got. I don't know, remember the exact terms that he has, but, I mean, he's just as a private landowner has negotiated, maybe that's different than what
Might
the city
be.
does, but I don't know. I don't know. I can ask, do you have any experience with this kind of stuff that we could talk about?
With cell tower leases?
Yeah,
Yeah, I've got a
I'm gonna get him to work right away.
I've got a couple clients that have cell tower leases on there.
So maybe we can discuss this one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure.
If that's what you guys want to
Let's
do.
go ahead and
we'll do
table
that.
to the next meeting.
yeah, I
Okay.
think so too.
Yeah.
Let's
Sounds
find
like
out
that
what
on the
else
Not the
we
next
have.
meeting, the meeting after that, because I'm not gonna be here on the
Okay.
10th.
The second meeting. in
Second meeting in
September.
September, let's look at it then.
Second meeting in
Please.
September.
And when does the current lease expire?
October 1st, 2024 is what it says on here.
October or November?
I thought it was, it expires. Oh, yeah, November 1st, 2024.
Yeah,
sorry.
November 1st, so it's through October.
So we got a few months, I
So
Okay,
we
but
got a couple
is-
months.
Is there a requirement to give notice before?
Yeah, they said 30 days.
30 days, yeah.
So November 1st isn't the drop dead date, it's gonna be.
Yeah, I can't
October 1st.
imagine even if we were a little later that they're gonna, like I said, pack
No,
up and-
October 1st is, so
Yeah.
if we address this the second meeting in September, we've still got
Still have
time.
time, okay.
Okay, let's see, I think we're back, that's all we have for new business, so we're back to the last few.
No, we're not, that's not all we have for new business.
Oh, sorry, Linda.
No
I
problem.
even have it written down here, and I still skipped you. The council actions with committee, council interactions with committees and commissions.
Every year, we have the ability and we have the opportunity to select what commissions or committees that we would like to be liaison to. And if we want to attend a meeting as a citizen, that's fine, but we should never state that we are there representing the city council. By doing this at these meetings, you're stating that you are representing the city council, you not only impugn the integrity of the commission, but also that of the city council. So I would like to propose that as a city councilman, if we are not a liaison to a committee or a commission, we do not state that we are from the city council. That's all I have to say.
And second? Don't need a second.
Don't need a motion on that.
No,
That's just advisory.
Yeah.
Okay, Thurston Regional Planning Council.
Okay, I had to go in twice to sign vouchers, and I'm also the liaison for the UGA committee. I was nominated to be chair for this year's meetings, and two of the things that we took care of was the state is now allowing for the tribes to be part of a lot of the committees that we have throughout, and it still had to come down to us to approve or disapprove. We approved that was unanimous. Then we had the land swap issue. It was started out as just a discussion. It moved into being a action item, and it actually passed. It went from, we had two people, Olympia and Tumwater, that disapproved because they wanted to see the verbiage on it. Even though everybody kept trying to let them know that TRPC is not going to be the body that writes the verbiage on it. It's the county that's going to be writing the verbiage on it. Well, it finally passed by a 5-2 vote, and that was the end of the meeting because as far as we know, unless something comes up, that was our last meeting this year for the UGA subcommittee, and we got done 20 minutes early.
Good job.
TPB.
No meetings.
Thurston County Commissioners, I don't have anybody here. Legislature, I'm guessing there's
Not
nothing
till
there yet.
January.
It's coming up though.
Yes, it is. I can hardly
Seems like
wait.
it just ended.
No,
Okay,
it doesn't to me.
that's all. Oh, public comment number 2. Anybody want to speak on anything before we end the meeting? One more chance.
Ma'am, I thought you wanted to talk about something.
No, I was just wondering if you had to fill something out first.
Oh,
I
no.
do have a question.
You can come on up.
Come on.
I just wondered, what is the Verizon
Would you-
thing for? Do you guys have phones and
Would-
stuff that you use Verizon for? Why the, I'm not understanding.
Would you state your name?
Oh, my
for
name
us,
is Sandy
please?
Common. I'm just a citizen.
It's a cell tower that they have on the hill up here that's on
Yeah.
our property, and basically they lease the space from us to operate that tower for cell service in our community. So that's what it is. It's been up there for years and years, and we have to renew a contract every so often.
Interesting, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Thank you so much for the
Yeah, you're welcome.
clarification.
Thank you for coming. Appreciate it. No other public comments? With that, we are adjourned. I have this proclamation to sign, please.
I was gonna say, do you want me to wait? It looks like we have the date from the last meeting on it that you read. You read the 13th, because remember we had it on.
Okay, we can review it and
So
sign it later.
I'll just update it and give
Yeah,
it to everybody.
that's a good
Everybody
idea.
can come by, 'cause I wanna make sure
Here.
it has- Sorry about that.